So thanks for joining us today on Leadership Log, which is a podcast for the Air Force Lifecycle Management Center community on topics of interest. And the topic of interest today is the Air Force Marathon, which is coming up in just about a month. So we're here to speak with Rachael Ferguson. And Rachael, if you could introduce yourself and give us a little bit of your career background.
Sure. So my name is Rachael Ferguson, and I've been with the Marathon office since 2014. I came in as the office admin, and I've also worked in the logistics position and the events role, which manages the expo and the pasta dinner and breakfast, and the assistant director, and now I'm the acting director of the marathon.
Okay. And so this is the first year back in a couple of years, I think. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so due to COVID, we did not have a live person event in 2020 or 2021. So we're back live in person this year after a 2-year virtual experience. So we're really excited to just be back with the participants live, hosting our events as normal, back up again running this year.
Okay. All right. And any particular precautions or anything like that you're taking for it, or?
We just are in consistent communication with the medical personnel, public health, and base leadership, just to make sure that we follow protocol that exists for large events. We have it to our advantage that we're an outdoor event, so it shouldn't look too different for the participants that come in to be a part of what we're doing.
Okay, good. So now there's some different elements this year, as I understand. So tell us what these options are.
So for running the event, we have the 5K Friday night, also the Tailwind Trot Kids Run, also Friday night. That was introduced in 2019. So it's semi-new, if you will, because of the break and having not live events for a couple of years. And then Saturday morning, we have our events of the 10K, the half marathon, the full marathon. We also new this year have bringing back the relay. So for anybody who may have some historical background of the marathon, we did used to have a relay. We are bringing it back for the first time this year live in person, and it's a 3-person relay. And then we also have the Fly Fight Win Challenge, which is for 5K, 10K half, or 5K, 10K full marathon.
Okay, cool. All right, so lots of options. If you really want a big challenge, or if you want kind of like a medium challenge,
exactly.
There's a link for you. All right, is there still time to get registered?
Yes, so all the events still are currently open. The full marathon is on the brink of selling out. So if that is the option that a runner is looking for, want to get in on that before it's all gone. But until the other events are filled up, we will have those registrations open.
Okay, all right. And I guess it's never too late to train, but what advice would you give runners to take on some like effective training, or things that they can do with this next month coming up?
Yeah, so I mean, we are a month out. So if the longer distance is what's in the card for somebody, they're most likely already in the middle of that training. But we actually have on our website training plans that people can tap into, which give tips for how to increase your distance through the weeks, hydrate, adequately stretch, cross train. I always recommend days of at least a day of rest, if not 2, when training for the event. And then in addition to that, cross training does help in not just doing a run, but finding a cross training exercise that promotes the cardio through the entirety of your body to help prepare for that race day.
Okay. And what's your website address?
Yeah. So usafmarathon.com. And then there would be a drop down in there for training plans, and it's different distances. They can find specific tips to those distances.
All right, cool. So other ways to get involved if people want to volunteer? I know in the past you guys have needed like a huge amount of volunteers to pull this off.
It does. It takes roughly 2,400 or so volunteers to execute our event over the course of the expo and the race day itself. And so if anybody wants to volunteer, they also can go to the usafmarathon.com. There's a specific tab there for volunteer. And then inside of that, it takes you to a site which will give you options, whether you're looking to do expo volunteering or race day volunteering, what is still needed. We are still looking for a couple of groups to come be a part of hydration stations. So we have those at every mile of the course on all distances. So takes a lot of people to fill those up. So that would be another one, which would require, several people coming together to help provide what's needed in those stations. So usafmarathon.com, and the volunteer registration closes August 31st. So that way we can prepare, get all the information out that each of the volunteers need for what their specific role is.
Well, I wanted to ask you too about the relay. So is that relay just for the full marathon, or?
It is. It runs the full marathon course. It's a 3-person relay, so there's 3 legs to it. Each leg is roughly 8 miles. There's one that's a little bit longer, and so that's the way that it is structured. It only runs the full. There is not the option for a relay and the other distances.
Okay, all right. I might want to relay the tailwind trot, maybe, or something like that. Mile, right?
Yeah, that one's is pretty achievable, right?
That might be. I might need two partners for that one. Okay, so has the course changed from previous years? Is it still like a Boston qualifier race, or?
It is still a Boston qualifier, and it has not changed since 2019. So okay. Everything that existed for that year stays the same for where we are today.
All right. You mentioned the expo. So tell us about the expo. When does it start? Where is it at?
The expo is Thursday and Friday, the 15th and 16th of September. It is held at the Wright State University Nutter Center on Colonel Glenn Highway. And on Thursday, it will open at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's open until 7 p.m. And then Friday, it is open from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. on Friday. And what is inside of that are exhibitors selling, running product. And it's not just for runners, it's for the community. Anybody can come in and be a part of that. There's sponsors in there with a lot of fun giveaways for runners, and some photo opportunities as well that exist inside there for people participating in the event.
And it's free parking, free admission to get into the
free
expo.
Parking, free admission, open to the community, runners, their families, spectators, anybody who wants to come be at that can come in and participate.
Okay, all right. So now, say running's not your speed and you don't really want to commit to being a volunteer. You just want to come out and watch and cheer for people. Where's the best places to go and watch the race?
Well, honestly, the best place is there at the museum. That is both our start and our finish line, and it's public access, so anybody can come be a spectator in that particular area. If you are interested in watching full marathoners, there is a location in downtown Fairborn where you can get to, and we do provide buses down there. So if you wanted to come see a runner start and then get on that bus and get down to see them in the Fairborn area and then get back on the bus, it will bring you back to the finish line and see them finish. So that would be really the best spectator way to go. The other place that's open in more of a public vicinity is the backside of Wright State along Kaufman Avenue. And it is roughly miles 21, 22 of the full marathon, miles 7 and going into 8 of the half marathon. So you can catch a runner there too. It is a little logistically challenging to get from the start line to that Kaufman area. We don't provide buses for that particular one. So those would be a few of the open areas. Okay.
And the Fairborn area that you were talking about, that's like through the downtown, like the Main Street area of Fairborn, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And they call it Fairborn Fly Zone because they put on a lot of fun spectator things to do while you're waiting for your runner to come through. It's a really cool area.
Okay. And that's for the Saturday events. Now on Friday, if you want to go, the 5K is at the Nutter Center. It starts and stops at the Nutter Center.
Anybody can come watch that. It's right outside of the Nutter Center area. So the start and finish line are actually in front of the Nutter Center. And that is open to the public. And the Tailwind Trot is also there. So it's a lot of fun to see that as well. All the kids come out.
Okay. All right. So is there anything that pretty much brings us to the end of our time? Is there anything that you want to add or reiterate, something I forgot to ask you about?
I mean, that covers like a lot of the details. I would say like we're just really excited to be back in the community and interacting with our runners this year. So really hopeful that people will come out and enjoy or volunteer and just be a part of what we're doing, and kind of like, get that excitement as well. Again, after 2 years of COVID, I know a lot of us have missed out on events as a whole. And so this is a really great way to jump back into not just a running event, but a community event, and one that is really promotional of who we are as the Air Force. So we hope to have everybody touch our event in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Plus, it's the 75th anniversary of the Air Force, too. So, 71st.
That it is. It is. Yeah. So we actually are going to have some cowbells to give out at the start and finish line that say, 75th. So kind of a fun little thing you can use to cheer on the runners and celebrate the 75th birthday of the Air Force.
Good deal. All right. Give us the website address one more time.
It's usafmarathon.com.
All right. Good deal. Rachael, thanks very much for joining us today and helping us learn a little bit more about the marathon. And there's still time to get involved one way or another, whether you want to run or volunteer. So thanks very much for joining us on Leadership Log.
Yeah, thank you very much.